Hey, g'day everybody, this is Jacko from Music Nation TV. Welcome to the channel, thanks for coming back. Today I want to talk about sample library purging. This is a concept that you really need to get in your head if you're a composer and using sample libraries, specifically Kontakt, but it does apply to Spitfire Audio's platform, to VSL, EastWest. I'm not too sure about Sign. I'm pretty sure Sign has a purging option as well. But specifically Kontakt, right? Most of us use a lot of Kontakt libraries. What the theory behind it is that when a sample library loads and it presents you with an articulation that you play, right? It loads into its resident mental RAM all of the samples that it thinks that you're going to need to play that particular articulation, right? And it knows this by either it's set to default to load everything up, or it listens to what you play and just loads those ones. Okay, so it's like a cup of data. The problem with this system is that it doesn't unload these samples. So no matter what you do, every time you add to it, it's always adding and filling, right? It doesn't empty again. So the more you do, the more stress there is on your computer. Okay, and it's not too much when you're talking about one or two articulations, but if you're doing like a big like project and you got like 30, 50 tracks or something like that and lots of libraries running, I mean, this is pretty serious stuff, right? So let me show you what I mean. Let me just load in here a track template. We'll use something everybody should know. What about the orchestra? I think everybody has the orchestra maybe, or you should have it if you don't. So let's look at strings. Okay, so strings. Let me just load up this violin section here. Here we go. And open that up. Whoops. Up here, please. Okay. Right. So now, this is fully purged. I know this. But if I play a chord, this is coming in channel 1. You'll see the first. Let me just expand this out so you can kind of see it. Oop. This is channel 1, so if I play this, it's playing that nice chord. And we'll see here, and this is inside Kontakt, right? You'll see the memory used in this current, just for me pushing that one chord, was 13.2 megabytes. And that little bar underneath it indicates how much of the total articulation pool is yet to be loaded. Okay, so you could say maybe we're about 20% loaded just by hitting that one chord. So now if I do like another chord, you'll see it's going to jump up again. We're up around 23 meg. Let's come down here, 25, etc., right? What's up here? So it's not loading it unless I need it. But you can see by just those handful of chords, we're already up around, or certainly over halfway full. Okay, and you see it's not releasing anything. So no matter what, let's say after playing all this, I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to play. All I want to do is play this single note. I've still loaded up 42 megabytes of other stuff, which won't release. And this is by having it purged to start with. By default, Kontakt loads everything into memory. So let me just kind of reload everything. This is how it would start. Like, it doesn't even give the option of emptying it. It just starts full 100%. So everything is ready to go. And that's all very nice if you want everything ready to go. But on a modern computer, if you run your sample libraries off an SSD like I do, and you really should be, if you're not using SSD, you need to upgrade. It runs its stream so fast, you don't really need to have it in resident memory all the time, because you can stream it off the disk pretty quickly, right? So back in the old days when that wasn't the thing, having it in resident memory was vital, but not so much anymore. So like I said, having it all here ready to go is a nice thing, but if I only want to play that one note, I have all this other stuff loaded, which on this one articulation, this is the sustains, it's not a big deal, but over multiple articulations and multiple instruments, and then multiple different libraries, this could load up. And some of my projects in the old days, I'd be up easy over, you know, 12, 14 gigabytes of just resonant stuff sitting there, regardless of what note I was needing it to play. So I could have multiple gigs of RAM being used, even though I'm just hitting one note. All right. So how do you fix this? Well, you purge it, right? Purging is what you want to get used to. So see this little option here saying purge. If you click this little button next to it, and just so in case you don't see this, you'll see above it there's these two icons here. There's snapshotting and information, right? You can, snapshotting is a different like look over here. So just make sure you're on the I, information, right? And that's going to be this thing here, and you'll see purge, and then underneath it you'll see purge all samples, right? Dunk. And now you'll see it's empty, so there's nothing at all loaded in the memory yet. If I push a button, this is going to stream it off the disk, and it's pretty quick if you've got a good system. If you're playing like a big meaty chord, you might notice a little bit of lag. Certainly if you're playing, if you push play for your project for the first time, it's going to lag as it kind of catches up, right? Because it can't stream, you know, all that data off your disk. So expect just the first time through, as it loads up, it's going to be a little bit jittery, but then after that it's set. So you can see this whatever I play now is going to be set forever. Nothing will ever lag. But I've just handed myself back 80% odd of my resources, right? Just by purging it. And like I'm playing a pretty big chord here, let's kind of purge again. I mean, chances are you're just doing like a little melody line, right? Right, that's maybe all you're doing on this one articulation on longs, right? So it's only around about, so about 15% of its usage, you know, being used, instead of having everything loaded there for you. So I think you kind of know where I'm going with this, right? Now, one of the really awesome features about Kontakt 8, and you, in the old days, you'd have to go through every single articulation on every single instance, and purge them one by one, right? But not so much anymore. On the latest version of Kontakt, which you again should have, if you push File, and you'll come down here, you'll see there's two purge options here, right? Purge this instance, which means only all of these articulations here of all these samples, or purge all instances, right? I'm just going to do that now. It's going to purge this plus all my other Kontakt libraries. Oh, it's so good. So everything in your project is emptied. All right. So of course you're going to get, when you play, you're going to get this little stutter as it kind of reloads. But the thing is, it flushes away all the stuff that you're not using, and you just handed back power. Right? It's so good. So there we go, the purge option. You must use this often. Unfortunately, there is no way to key command this, and it's so dumb. I wish they would fix this. They need a quick key, right? You have to come into any instance of Kontakt, load it up, and come up to File, Purged all instruments, and Purge all samples, right? All instances, all samples. Of course, you could reload all samples if you want to, like use up all your memory, but just don't. Purge all samples, right? And everything in your project will be emptied. It's so nice. And so there we go. So this might be a little trick for you to get back crazy amount of power if you're running sample libraries like this. Kontakt, I know there's Spitfire Audio does it. EastWest has a really cool way of doing it. EastWest libraries, in fact, are the Opus edition. Really, really nice. It actually has the purge indicators right there, and so it's a really nice way of doing. VSL has a weird way of doing it. If you use VSL stuff, there's an option in there. You can make sure that it automatically disables all of the tabs, right? I can't remember what they call them. Those little blocks when you put an articulation in. You want it to be by default turned off and only turned on when it hears MIDI information, right? So it's basically automatically purged, right? I have that on by default. I believe it is actually on by default. If it's not, just do that, and then you purge VSL stuff just by double clicking the little blocks, right? And it purges out all that sample. So it's just a slightly different way of doing things. I'm not too sure how Sign does it. I'm sure Sign can do it. So yeah, so purging, people, for 2026, the new thing you want to be doing. All right, so thanks so much for joining me today. This has been Jacko from Music Nation TV. Make sure you subscribe, heaps of new stuff coming. So It's going to be exciting here. So thanks for being here today, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye.